Number one, the woman said to the man he had heard that they were bright, listened to his staff, and the man agreed with her, and he were going to be to carrying the church for their company when they retired, and the woman commented he would really like to meet him, and the man told us he would set up a lunch. Uh, Number two, the woman said to the man, Mr. Winkle had been trying to reach him, and he had having some problems, and here he had been calling all morning. The man wanted to know what matter was, and the woman replied to him, he hadn't go into space office, and first here he would like him to call him back, and the man the back and the man told us he wonder what his problem was, but here he was calling him right then. Number three, the man said to the woman, her new company local really makes a statement, and he would like to use her artist, and the woman replied to him, you're a new college student, a friend of her daughters, and she worked in her spare time, and the man started giving her phone number, and he would give her a call. The woman agreed with him. Number four, Derman said hello to the man, and she told us they would like have a breakfast brought to her room the day after morning, about tea, movie, and glass of fresh squeeze squeeze and orange juice. The man agreed with her. And he wanted to know what time she would like that deliver. The woman replied to him, 7 o'clock, and could she have a newspaper with that too? The man agreed with her. Number five, the man said to the woman he had got up late that morning, and he almost missed the bus, and the woman wanted to know what about the miracle, and the man replied to him, she had been running on the sidewalk, and when he had got the bus, she had missed it. The woman commented, that's why she was late that morning. The woman said to the man, he looked pretty scruffy, and that day, and she suggested saving, and the man agreed with her, because he hadn't saved for a week, and because he just got back from a week-long camping trip. He thought he would grow his peer out, and the human communist, his new look uh, was going to take some getting used to, and the man agreed with her. Number seven. The man started look at the mail. Look at the mail they received last day. She told us they had never seen so much, and the human commented he would best is because the day after was holiday, and there hadn't been any mail delivery, and the man commented that must be it. Here they would better and he started starting going through it. The woman agreed with him. German wanted to know if the man got home all right, and because that's no make the community very messy. The man replied to her that were not worth of it, because his neighbors. His neighbors were on top of still here, uh, and he had to pass down below and go to his house. And the woman confirmed wanted to. The woman confirmed that that's nothing. Confirmed that this morning he had to walk back down to his car to ride into work, and the man agreed with her, and he commented it was terrible. The man said to the woman he had been thinking, they ought to get the cup of TV, and the man wanted to her opinion, and the woman agreed with him, because the kids would love the cartoon, and he would like to sport and news, and just talk up on the special programs. And the man commented he had been thinking about the movie. He they could save a punter on a video rental. The woman agreed with him. Derman said to number 10, Derman said to the man using the firm encouraging voice with his dog, and not to angry or rebuking voice. The man agreed with her, and he told us do he use treat to reward a appropriate creator response. The human commented, the human replied to him, some people use trick, but her philosophy was not to. She encouraged our to use lot of rice instead, and the man thought her philosophy was much better.